messy. We're going to have a lot of fun with tonight's topic, but this is serious as well because a lot of my young ladies want to get married, and some of my, more mature ladies as well want to get married. You may want to have children, things like that. And we are going to talk about this tonight. So, like the video, I'm going to put the 90-second on clock on, give people a chance to come in, and then we shall have this topic. Here we go, 90-second timer. Welcome to Black Women Making Money. We are the home of the upwardly mobile Black woman. For exclusive content and invitations to our Inner Circle Zoom meetings, which happen on a monthly basis, you can sign up for free for our email newsletter at bwmakingmoney.com. That's bwmakingmoney.com. Hello, ladies. Welcome to tonight's topic, all about how to vet men financially. So, as I was explaining earlier, I did this topic about a year ago, more than a year ago, was going through some of my old playlists, noticed that we hadn't done this topic in a while. And we're going to have a conversation tonight about vetting men financially. I've got my special guest coming on, Victoria from The Credit Solutionist. She is a credit and debt specialist. Tonight's topic shall be a partially messy money topic. We're going to be messy tonight because Victoria's had a long day. I've had a long day. And it's going to be partially messy. It's going to be partially fun. It's always serious when it comes to money and our coins, because the wrong man, if you get involved with the wrong man, that will mess up your coins, your money, like you cannot imagine. However, a lot of us have issues with our money and men because we are lonely, because we do not want to be alone, because we do not want to wait and find the right person. All of a sudden, sugar daddy appears and we just get moist and we don't know what to do. Yes. Oh, I should say, tonight's conversation is for the over 18 crowd. You must be over 18 to be listening to tonight's conversation. Victoria and I intend to, to tell you the truth here tonight. So with that, I'm going to bring up my friend, the credit solutionist, Victoria. Hello.
Hey, girl. Hey, I know you did not just say moist in these YouTube streets. I'm
I
done
did.
with you.
I did, and I meant it. I
Oh
meant
my
it.
God. I love it, girl. When you said
Yes.
moist, I started dying. Okay.
Yes, because a lot of women get into financial hiccups and issues because they get involved with the wrong men. And every time I'm either reading something, I actually found, found, yeah, a Reddit. I was reading a Reddit, and I might bring it up later on tonight, or
Okay.
I'm talking to a woman or whatever. It always boils down to I was lonely. He was there. He showed up. I got involved. And next thing you know, it's costing me 20,000, 40,000. I've known women who have lost their homes messing with the wrong man.
Oh my God. Okay. So without saying too much, I can relate to
Mhm,
what you're saying, both on the
mhm,
personal side and in dealing with my clients. So, personal and professional, I have a plethora of stories, right? Thank God for non disclosure agreements and privacy clauses in what I do, because I could absolutely write a novel, right?
mhm.
But in interest of fairness, I will say loneliness can hit anybody. So, Cheree and I are not insulting the intelligence of any woman who has succumbed to that, because
Yep.
I think if we all went through every moment in our life, we can all relate to something that we're going to cover tonight. So, I
Mhm.
just wanted to
Yes.
give that disclaimer to let you all know we've all been there and we can laugh about it now because we've already cried about it before. So,
Yes. Oh, trust me, I've done stupid things as well.
oh,
So,
girl, yeah.
um, yes. The other thing I will say is you need to vet men on multiple fronts, not just financial. Definitely physical. Any hint of DV on a guy, I'm out like immediately, right? You need to vet him spiritually. You need to vet him socially as well. We talk about socioeconomics and not um, being unequally yoked, right? Not dating men who are socioeconomically mismatched. And Black women are starting to get that. Um, where we're like, hey, we shouldn't be dating men that we are socioeconomically mismatched with. You know, there are spiritually, there are different ways that you need to vet men. I will say, Cheree don't know nothing about nothing with any of that other stuff, right?
What other stuff?
Oh, the spiritually, emotionally, mentally vetting men, any of that. Like I don't know any of that stuff. I'm not here to to claim to be, somebody who could assist with that. And if you ask me questions about that, I'm going to say I don't know because I don't. But when it comes to coins, when it comes to money, that's where I have some insight, and
Okay.
Victoria does as well. I don't know. What Victoria does is a lot of mental, because debt especially has a lot of psychology attached to it. So she probably knows more than I do about that. I just always put that out because, you know, we have a lot of people on YouTube talking about vetting men, vetting men. I'm here
Mhm.
to tell you, I don't know how to vet a man completely. And I don't want anybody thinking that the only way that they should vet men is financially, because that is not the case. So, uh, do you have anything else to say before we say hello to people and get started with tonight's topic?
I do. Okay. So, of course, I agree with you and share your sentiment that we cannot completely say that we can vet someone financially, but I will say that money at the end of the day is energy. It's just a representation of how much effort you've put in, compared to how much your effort is actually worth, how much your energy that was expended is worth to the person that is the purchaser, right? So that already gives it a spiritual connotation. I know we're not going to go too deep into that, but that is where my business is going, where it's more like, oh, we have a mental block here and I
Mhm.
have to give you the resources to alleviate that, right? Because a man that cannot get himself together financially, one, he's out of touch with the real world. Number two, he's not tapping into his God given right or God given energy or gift, which is go out, get what's yours, and then like be fruitful, fool. That's what
And
you're
bring
supposed
it
to do.
no, and bring it home.
Thank you.
And bring
So
it home.
that's
Yes.
it. So if you have a man that's already struggling with debt, maybe isn't in the job that he should be, maybe he's not educated enough or connected enough, that is a mental block that that man has that is going to eventually affect you in your life as well. I'm ready to
Ooh,
talk about that if
Victor,
you are,
Victor,
Cheree. It's deep.
Victoria. Okay, so I created a little PowerPoint because I kind of wanted to guide tonight's conversation a little bit.
Sweet.
And Victoria went ahead to like slide number 10, but
Oh,
that's
my
okay.
bad, girl.
So we're gonna have fun tonight, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like button. Hit the like button. If you're watching a replay, y'all get involved in the conversation. Okay,
Please
so I
do.
do want to say hello to Ravi Ray. Funny that a guy is the first person here tonight, or was the first person here tonight.
Hmm.
And Notary World is in the building saying, "Hey, ladies, let's get it." Notary World is also saying, "I remember Whoopi Goldberg told Monique that her husband was holding her back. I totally agree. I have heard people say a lot about Monique and Sydney. Sydney is the husband. I have to admit, I don't watch them closely enough to know like their energy or anything like that. But a man can definitely hold you back. A man can prevent you from getting into certain rooms that you would be able to get to on your own or with another spouse. So that is true. Still Rocks is in the building saying, yo, can't wait to hear this info tonight. This is super conversation, have early as possible. Super important. Yes, thank you so much, Dill Rocks. All right, let's come here. Number one is I am equal with regards to date the man that's best for you. I'm not the person who believes that you can only or should only date Black men. I
Hmm.
also, ladies, I also don't believe just because he's white, that means he's right. So, let's dispel that right now as well. Um, I'm going to date the best man for the job and make sure that I always say this, and I have yet to find somebody who brings me a plausible, like, Cheree, you're totally wrong. The father of your children is the most important financial decision you will ever make in your life.
Thank
I've said
you.
that to numerous people, Black, white, old, young, and everybody. When I say that to them, they step back and they're like, Cheree, you are 1,000% correct. The father of your children is the most important financial decision you will ever make. So you better be smart because you're going to be paying for it, not for 18 years, but for the rest of your life. And guess what? He may or may not be paying for it. And based on, according to Erica, I don't know this, I didn't look it up. Average
Hmm.
child support is $247, which is supposed to do at $247. $247 a month. I knew a guy because I was doing payroll at this one company who was paying $25 a paycheck for child support. What the hell are you supposed to do with that?
I
So,
believe it's 1 week of groceries if you're lucky.
not even now, because this was $25. This was maybe 2015 that I
Hmm.
saw that pay stub.
Okay.
If it were $25 now, oh, you're talking about 247 equals one week of groceries. Yes. And that's if you just have one kid.
Girl, by yourself. You know how
That's
much I
that's
spend
if you
weekly at the
just have
grocery
one kid.
store?
Yes.
Girl.
The grocery store is no joke, especially if you're trying to eat healthy fruits and make decent food. So yes.
True.
So and don't have teenage boys.
Yeah,
No.
they're garbage disposals. And it's crazy. Like as soon as they eat, they're hungry again.
Yeah.
Within, with which is their right because they have so much energy that they burn per day. But I wanted to ask you, Cheree, if
Uh-huh.
you're okay diving into it, why do you say that the person you procreate with is the most important? Would it not be your husband? Is there something
No.
different between procreation versus the
Hmm.
lifelong commitment of marriage?
Yes, because marriage may or may not be lifelong. If
Mm.
you divorce that man with no
Hmm.
children, um, you can, even if you owe him a payout, a la Rachel Lindsay, who we're going to talk about for a second,
Hmm.
she may have to pay for 2, 3 years and then she's done with her alimony. When you procreate with a man, even if you don't marry him, you're most likely going to be the child's um, financial steward, meaning that you're going to be responsible for most of the expenses of that child.
Okay.
And I think it was the Brookings Institute said that Black women, even upwardly mobile Black women, when they have children and get involved, unfortunately, they said with the wrong Black man, and I read it myself, that's really what they said, they fall into poverty. And the reason for that is because the child takes so much of their resources, especially if they're trying to have an upwardly mobile child. So I said what I said on purpose, that it's not who you have as a husband, it's when you have a child, who you have that child with.
Correct. And we shouldn't be looking at just the aesthetics of it, is what I'm getting from you so far.
Oh, I'm
Because
never
I'm
about
looking
the
at the
aesthetics of it.
Rachel Lindsay situation. That was partially aesthetics, but go on, girl. Go
Yeah,
off.
yeah. So let's talk then. Let's be a little messy, right?
Let's do it,
Because we're
girl.
gonna entertain the people tonight.
Oh my God. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Because I totally had my struggle love relationship that actually started this time last year and obviously went down in like flames, as you know. But
Mhm.
go on, girl. I'm gonna let you start.
So the easy thing for us to start with
You are
is
so
low-hanging fruit.
it's so bad.
If you don't know who this is on your screen, you're fortunate. But the man is a guy named, don't laugh.
I'm gonna mute myself. I'm sorry.
The man is Jonathan Majors. The woman is Megan Good. They are both entertainers. And Megan started dating Jonathan when he caught a case for DV of his former girlfriend. Okay. But that wasn't bad enough. Now, reports have come out that Megan is paying Jonathan's bills, including his child support for him. This is why I
Okay.
said I'm starting with the low hanging fruit here, because there are obvious financial issues that we, as upwardly mobile Black women, can get into. Megan Good is an upwardly mobile Black woman. She's pretty, she's fit, she's feminine, all that stuff that men say that they want, right?
Mm.
She can honestly have any man. I mean, obviously within reason, right? But she can date outside of Black men. She could date upper
Yep.
echelon Black men. She could date outside of Hollywood. She could marry a tech entrepreneur or a businessman. She was married to a pastor. We don't know what happened there. And yet she chose this man, and she chose to bear the financial responsibility of this relationship, allegedly, I should say, because this was alleged, based on some unknown source, even though I'm inclined to believe what the unknown source said, that she is paying all of his bills, including his child support. Um, your thoughts, Victoria?
Well, I will say this. We don't know who the source actually is, but I will say it's typically women that are phenotypically similar to the man that will come in and swoop and save the day, because that's what we've been told to do as women coming up. And so I don't doubt it. I know that she's not legally doing it. She's probably just doing it to do him a solid and to prove, hey, I'm here for you. I have your back. It is what it is. I don't necessarily think that race has anything to do with it, to be honest with you. It may have started that way, but I think both sides are pretty much playing the role that they are taught to play. I'm trying to say this as carefully as possible, because Jonathan Majors obviously was with or pursuing the, oh, do I use that P word? The preference.
He was pursuing a white woman. He was
He was
involved.
pursuing, yes, he was pursuing a
Involved with
successful
the
Black
white.
American man's preference. Yes.
Yes.
I will only speak on Americans because I am American through and through. Thank you.
No,
Thank
the
you very much.
Africans do it too.
I know, but girl, I only know African Americans or Black people. Okay. So we're going to talk
Okay.
about that. Okay.
All
As we
right.
streaming on Credit Solutionists, I got to be careful.
Okay.
So because he was pursuing the preference, and it really blew up in his face because of stereotypes that existed eons before he existed. Now he's going to the safe choice. Megan is only doing what we as Black women have been conditioned to do time and time again, regardless of how terrible the match is. We've been taught, stand by your man, right? I think it was Loretta Lynn or somebody sang it, but God, I mean, Black women, we live it in real
Mm-hmm.
life. I hope I'm making sense. I don't know that there's a sensible answer for you, but I know that we do it
Well,
to the
there's no
detriment
sensible
of,
answer for me. No,
yeah.
there isn't. Um,
And hey,
yeah.
Mentor Shelly, girl, we see you. And
We
Dark and
see you,
Lovely.
Mentor Shelley. Yes, we see Dark and Lovely saying, checking in from the clouds, loving the topic and the messiness on the side. And Black Widow Rose in the building. Y'all are quiet tonight. We're going to need to liven this chat up.
I know, because they
So
know they got something to say. Because
I
I'm like,
know y'all have
girl,
something to say about
you
who's
know
on the
they
screen, but
do.
okay. All right. Yeah, maybe y'all are watching and, cloud watching and you don't want to get involved with the messiness, but that's okay.
But why
So
do you
this is,
think
this
that
is,
this is
mhm.
happening? Do you think that Megan is trying to save him, or what do you think the dynamic is here?
I think that there's something mental with her. So I will admit,
Okay.
I've only watched clips of Megan. I haven't sat down and watched a whole interview of her with on Club Shay Shay or anybody. Like, I'm not that interested, right? But from the clips that I've seen, there's something mentally, there's some sort of mental issue that she has that
Okay.
is attracting her to this type of man over and over again. When I say this type of man, I don't just mean financial, I mean like she seems to be in a cycle based
Okay.
on the few clips that I've heard. And again, I have not sat down to watch a whole interview, so I don't know. But I want to take it back from Megan to the women in the chat. If you find yourself financially abused, all right, and take a step back. If Megan is truly paying for Jonathan's lifestyle, his entire lifestyle, including his child support, and if you find yourself doing that, or if you find yourself being financially abused continuously by a man, there is something going on with you that is attracting that type of individual over and over and over again. So, I don't want to make this about Megan. I
Mhm.
put Megan and Jonathan up here as an archetype of, whoa, is that me? And to say this is the low hanging fruit, because we're going to actually
Yeah.
have a broader conversation than just this. Um, Still, Rox is saying they look so fake. I'm sorry. I know that's not the topic. No, it's not the topic, but you are able to say it.
Mhm.
I've also heard that this is an industry relationship slightly fake. I thought it was, but I don't know. It seems to be going on a little longer for the fakeness for me, but I don't know.
True.
And this is not really about their relationship. This is just about us noticing patterns.
Mhm.
However, I will say though, if she was brought on to be in an industry relationship and now they have flipped it on her where she's paying for him and his lifestyle, she's a damn fool. So,
Not
um,
just a fool, but a damn fool. Okay.
yeah, yes. Definitely not teaching my daughter to stand by her man. Unfortunately, it's too many of us guys that take advantage of our sisters. This is true, but
Okay.
women allow themselves to be taken advantage of as well, which is why we want to have this conversation tonight about financially betting men and understanding. This is why I want to have Victoria here, that um, your financial situation that you're in is based on your self esteem, your self worth, your past decisions. All the past decisions that I have made, up until today reflects how much money I have in my bank account, what my net worth is today, the kind of job that I have today, etc.
Yeah.
And when you are financially vetting a man, understand that all of his past choices has brought him to where he is today. Okay. So um, I'm going to move to the next couple, no longer couple.
Oh, Lord.
But again, another mess. And this was an even greater mess because Wendy Williams had a career. This is her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, right? Kevin helped build Wendy up. Let's be real. Wendy was the on-screen talent. She
Yes.
probably could have done it on her own, but he was savvy enough in order to help build her up, unlike a lot of other men we see in the entertainment industry. His
Mhm.
problem was, and he did help with regards to getting her on TV, and I do believe this. I believe that he helped get her on TV, and I do believe that he helped get her to the top spot. Does that mean that he did it and she didn't have anything to do with it? No. But he did have something to do with it, unlike a lot of other industry husbands. However, he couldn't keep his DICK in his pants, and he ended up fathering a child. And God only knows what the laws were in New Jersey. There are some states that you live in where if your husband has a child with another woman, you could be on the hook as the wife slash, yeah, wife. You could be on the hook for for his child support.
True.
So
I have a
go ahead.
question
Huh?
because this brings forth something that happened to me in the last 5 years, I will say. And I will not blast this person because they can be detected on the internet. So here's my
Mm-hmm.
thing. I have a question for you
Mm-hmm.
because there are some men that, even though they have these situations where maybe they have a lot of children, or they're dating after a divorce, or they're going to divorce, or you meet a man that has had children that, outside of wedlock.
Mm-hmm.
Is it wrong for us as upwardly mobile Black women to ask questions, to say, hey, what is your child support situation like? What is the relationship with the baby's mother or baby's mothers? Right, your ex. What is that like? Because if I were to pursue a relationship with you, I have to consider my financial standing as well. Right? Is it wrong for us to ask those questions? Because I actually was chatting with someone that had children, and I said, hey, I'm actually kind of like on the upward trajectory in my career, my business, and everything. And the fact that we live in different states, I have to now kind of look up the laws in your state to see what the legal ramifications and financial ramifications are going to be for me should I fall in love with you, because this is a serious situation. This man decided to get an attitude about it. And I thought, wait, you're trying to talk to me. I'm a business owner. Do you not think that I know that marriage is a business relationship? Do you seriously, can you still hear me? Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm like, do you not think that I'm looking at this relationship as a business venture? Are you serious, bro? Like, so is it wrong for us to do that? And is there a certain way that us as upwardly mobile Black women should approach these conversations with potential partners that have children?
So it's funny you mentioned this because we were going to do a game called Judge Victoria, and you were going to
Ooh,
answer that question. Yes.
okay, I got you. So we'll come back to
Yeah.
it, girl.
But I will say this just right now.
Hmm.
It is imperative for us as financially astute, upwardly mobile Black women to have those conversations and to check with the law. In fact, when I got married, before I got married, my husband had 3 children. and they lived with him, just so happened to have lived with him.
Okay.
And I went to a divorce attorney when he proposed to me, and I was like, look, I'm not trying to be on the hook for nobody's child support. And because we lived in Virginia, but I'm telling you now, that was in 2006 when I got married. So you better check the laws today. Okay.
Mhm.
But, she said, no, don't worry about it. You will not be on the hook for child support.
Okay.
Now, if I were smarter at the time, I would have gone with the girlfriend. And the girlfriend would have said, well, what happens if Cheree doubles her income and he doesn't? And what happens if this
Mm.
and what happens is that? So, what I will suggest is go before you get moist, because this is what we're talking about. Again,
You
this
in
is
that
over
word,
intent.
girl. Okay. Can you just, the word of the night is moist. This is the second
Yes.
time she said it, y'all.
Yeah. So if it were Friday night, we do a drinking game. But
Look, I already got my spooky
women,
cocktail. Okay, girl.
I love it. I love it.
Go on.
Women get in
Sorry.
trouble because they are lonely, and they allow loneliness to make short-term decisions that have long-term financial ramifications or
Mhm.
issues,
That's
right?
true.
So this is why I would suggest, the one thing that I did not do right is go with a girlfriend, and you go with the girlfriend that also is going to ask those hard-hitting questions as well. And this is where you got to be smart. You got to use your head. And don't assume that a prenup is going to solve all your problems, because there are a lot of prenups that they get in front of the judge, and the judge rips that thing up. And next thing you know, you're going to be owing this guy money. So we have to be honest about those things as well. But we were talking about Wendy and Kevin Hunter. Let's talk about another low hanging fruit financial situation. And you had mentioned her before. So, Rachel Lindsay. The reason why I brought this couple up is, don't assume it's just black men. Please don't. I know I have a lot of upwardly mobile divestors in here. Team divestment. If you're saying that you want to marry a man of another race, no problem. Just don't assume that just because he's college educated white man, or college educated Latino, or college educated Asian man, that you're not going to run into problems. If you're not familiar with Rachel Lindsay's situation, she married this man. He was a chiropractor. She's in entertainment. She has a podcast and other things. She told him to leave his chiropractor business in California, move with her to Texas. He didn't get back on his feet. He ended up divorcing her, and she now has to pay him, is it 10 grand a month? I think it's 10 grand a month. I don't know for how long. But she's paying him alimony. She never had kids with this guy. She was married to him for 3 or 4 years, and she's paying for it.
It says
So
it's about 13,000 a month.
that's possible as well.
Yeah.
That's possible as well. So, um, you know, the dust is global. The
Mm.
dust is multicultural, ladies. I'm just warning you to not just put this on black men.
Are you
Uh,
saying it could be just a man or male thing, or a
it
specific type of male?
I think it could be any guy. I think that any guy could be financially abusive in different ways. Some men are resource suckers.
Okay.
Because you're an upwardly mobile black woman, they
Mm-hmm.
take and take and take from you.
Okay.
And other men are financially abusive because, and I was going to go to my next slide that I had, but they
Mhm.
hold a carrot over you.
What's the
I'm
carrot?
the carrot is, I'm going to make you a trad wife. I'm going to take you out of the workforce, and
Girl.
you can raise these children, and you can be soft and feminine, and you don't have to worry about going to work. I'll take care of everything financially for you.
I so have input on that. You let me know when you're ready for it.
Well, why don't we do it now then? So,
Okay. So, as an upwardly mobile Black woman who happens to be of a certain phenotype, a certain age, I
Mm-hmm.
run into men, particularly of all races, that feel like because they can Google me and find my channel and find my, whoever they feel like I am associated with or attached to. Before I left home and came to Virginia, a lot of these men do not even offer me the luxury of being a trad wife, because if I am promoted on a public platform, it then showcases, hey, this girl works. This girl, yeah, she was in a relationship for however many years, but she's woken up now. She's seen the light and she knows that she has to carry her own weight no matter what. So I've had men that will come at me because they feel that they knew, my mentor or whoever I was attached to in my former life. And they'd
Mm-hmm.
say, wow, they wouldn't talk crazy to me because they knew I'd go back to my mentor and say, yo, look out for this one, and this one. Tell them off for me. But it's like, they would say, "Oh, Victoria, I would love to provide for you, but you have a business. You are attached to so and so and associated with so and so. I just don't feel like I can measure up." So that's what they would give me. Or
Mm-hmm.
they would come to me under the guise of needing my services or my business. And next thing you know, we're on the phone for 2 hours and they're telling me about their deepest, darkest secrets. Right. And it's like, oh my God. So I will say, for the women that are upwardly mobile and maybe are not meeting the caliber of man that you want, you also have to be aware of, if you run in certain networking circles and things like that, people are watching you. And because they've been studying you for so long, they know there's a certain way that they can approach you. Like if I am, let's just say, with a religious group, right? You will look at me and you will know, oh, she's probably not going to demand that I do certain things
Mm-hmm.
because she's affiliated with an organization that's all about rebuilding men. Going ahead and put that
That's the
out
truth.
there. Sheree
That's
knows
the
what
truth.
Sheree knows what I'm
That
talking about, but it's like,
that's the truth. And yes,
right?
I do know who you're talking about. But
Yes. So
even
if
more than
I'm dealing with that, I just want to, I'll say this and I'll be done.
Mhm.
But like,
Right.
I noticed that. And now looking back, I'm like, wait, if I'm associated with an organization that is rebuilding men, and here I am, a Black woman who is not,
Mhm.
stereotypically known to say, oh, I support men and I want them to be strong and lead their families. If I'm saying that as a business owner, making my own money, to those men, I am more understanding if you're
Mhm.
not on your feet right now, because I'm all about rebuilding men. I still do that in my company, right?
Mhm.
But
But
I
that's your
noticed,
company. That's
yeah,
different.
and I notice men have and continue to try to take advantage of that. So I'm not going to lie and say just because we're upwardly mobile, men will not exploit you if you're on public platforms. They will try. So we as women have to be like aware. I'll just say
Mhm.
that, and I'm gonna mute myself, girl. Go ahead. Just had to
Well,
say that.
all men will try to get away with what they can get away with.
Hmm.
It
And they
is
don't care
based
how
on
smart you think you are as a woman. They don't care.
that is true.
They will try to find the chinks in your armor and slide right through like some vapor. Okay,
That is
go ahead,
true.
Sheree.
That's
Girl, go ahead.
true. So it is important for you. This is why I brought up the self-esteem and the loneliness, because those things, there are a lot of men who will sniff that out. There are also, because especially of, so say two things. Number one, you mentioned your phenotype. The
Mhm.
truth is, the exoticals are getting it the same way as well. I've been listening to the exoticals channel just because I'm
True.
curious, right? They're getting it too. So
Hmm.
it's not just our phenotype. It's every woman is getting it. White, Asian, Hispanic, exotical. We're all getting it,
Hmm.
right? Um, the other thing is that there has, especially with darker skinned Black women, chocolate Black women like you and I, there's this
Hmm.
whole trend now of trad wife. We're tired of working. We're tired of being strong. We want to be led. We want to be trad wives. The white women have been trad wives all these years, and we want to be able to sit down and raise our kids, blah, blah, blah. There are men that are sniffing this out.
Facts.
And they will dangle it like a carrot, and they will have you doing crazy backflips in order for you to be this person that you were never supposed to be. Now, I'm not saying that you should not aim to be a stay-at-home mother if that's what you choose to be. I'm not saying that you shouldn't aim to homeschool your children. That is not what I'm saying. I am saying, and I will definitely say this, never be 100% dependent on a man financially. I don't care who it is.
But what if he's a man of God?
I don't care
Girl.
who it is. I don't care who it is. Never, ever, ever be financially dependent 100% on a man. Notary World was in the chat earlier. Even if you have your notary business part-time and you know and he knows that if he starts messing up, you can crank that thing to full-time. Notary World told you how to make $500 a day, and you can take care of your babies and you can get out of that situation. That's what you do. You could be a loan officer. I'm telling you, so you could work from home as a loan officer, and you could make $10,000 to $20,000 a month as a loan officer. There are a lot of things that you can do without being financially dependent on that man. Okay, so you have anything else before we go to the next slide? Because I think this is the we call it the part that I want everybody to participate in. So before we go to the next slide, you have anything to say?
Yes, just a little bit. Okay. So definitely, I just wanted to say, you guys, the men of God, I love you all because I believe God exists, but I have been bamboozled by those men before. And you want to try to be a little more like, keep your affiliations more close to your vest and be more selective on who can publicly associate with you and affiliate with you. Because a lot of times certain people, men and women, will find a way to kind of, well, a bamboozle. That's the way they'll kind of sneak in like a thief in the night, and they'll plot on you even if they know that you have pure intentions within yourself, and they'll exploit that, you know? So that's it. That's all I got for the last part of that part of our talk tonight. So be mindful, ladies and gentlemen. It can happen to anybody.
Yes. So Mentor Shelley, I just sent you the link. The reason is the reason I'm not dropping the link is because Victoria is already long-winded, and we have a lot of slides to go through, and it'll take us forever. It will take us forever to get through this. But Mentor Shelley, I did because you asked, because it's you. I did.
She's raising my girl
I did
talk
email
too
you the
much.
link. And I want to say hey to Ray Gunn. Thanks for the $2 super chat. So here's what I want to come up with next. Girl, don't do it. Girl, don't do it. Don't do it. Tell us in the chat what women should not be doing, the things, the red flags that women should be looking for when it comes to financially vetting men. And then afterwards, we're going to do something called Judge Victoria. I got some scenarios for Victoria. She's going to tell us if we should marry this man. So,
oh my God, I'm such
girl,
the wrong person.
I was trying to make it good and messy tonight. So
I love it.
I am going to go through some of your comments here. Mr. Shell is saying, yep, I can personally attest to the fact that we tend to attract what we're dealing with at the time. We have to be careful. This is so true. Your mental, your self-esteem will dictate who gets attracted to you and who you let in. And you could have a lifetime of bills messing with the temporary man. So jo-
Hallelujah.
Josie is saying, yes, looking back at the people Megan, this is Megan Good, has been attracted to, it seems as if her
Mhm.
mindset is poor, which may be affecting her financially. It could have also helped her held her career back. This is absolutely true.
True.
Poor Wendy. She didn't love herself enough not to hold on to this cheating Dusty. He only did it to help himself too. This is true. Um, some ladies are so focused on having that fairy tale relationship that they don't recognize the red flags early on. This is true. Or they recognize them and they ignore them because of loneliness.
Mhm.
So that loneliness is a kicker. Um, so Roxanne, I have a loved one that didn't talk about finances at all before getting married. I think she was scared that if she asked too many questions, the guy might have lost interest. If the guy loses
Wow.
interest, this is a good point. If the guy loses interest, then he is not financially, what do you call it? He doesn't get through our financial vetting if he's going to lose interest. I want a man with a financial plan.
What does
So,
a financial plan look like to you? Because your financial plan and your stipulations may not be the same as mine or someone watching.
mhm,
So, can you
mhm,
give us like one or two things that you vet
mhm.
financially?
I'm going to actually put it on the screen here.
Okay.
Technical skills, soft skills, multicultural networks, and resources.
Ooh, that's a lot, girl.
This
Okay,
is
what's
what
your
I
top?
tell
What's your
people. No, 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 no. It has to be all four. It has to
Okay.
be all four. So
Okay.
this is just like us as upwardly mobile Black women. Anybody who's been on this channel for long enough,
Mhm.
I've told you the four things you need to have. Technical skills. Technical skills is not technology. Technical skills is, do you have um, a skill that you can use in order to make money? He could be a
Mhm.
handyman. He could be an HVAC. I'm a loan officer. You're a
Mhm.
credit coach and a debt coach. Like,
Mhm.
what is his technical skill? If he is unskilled labor, he's going to get crushed by AI and
Mhm.
robotics.
Word.
He must be skilled labor. Number one. Number two, does he have soft skills? What are soft skills? Problem solving, resourcefulness, management. Like, you know,
Mhm.
can he pull a plan together? You know, if he walks into a room, does he know how to work the room? Small talk,
Mhm.
all of that stuff.
Mhm.
Soft skills are very important, especially for the upwardly mobile Black woman. Okay. Number three, multicultural networks. If he cannot confidently speak with Juan and, Ming Lee and,
You are so politically incorrect. I love it.
and Winnington Thurston the fourth and work those rooms, I'm not interested. If all he can do is talk to Raekwon and Pookie and Ray Ray, I'm not interested. Okay.
Girl.
Multicultural networks. Does he have multicultural networks? The reason why I
Mhm.
put this in here as well is because children, when we have children, 90% of our kids' ability to move up the economic ladder will depend on those first couple of jobs that they get. And we're
Okay.
moving into a situation where the jobs are not on LinkedIn, the jobs are
Mhm.
not on Indeed. The jobs are, who does mom and dad know? Or what college did mom and dad put me in so that I could network with the right people? Or what um, what uh, church does mom and dad have me in where I can network with the right people and they've networked with the right people? Or what synagogue do I belong to?
Mhm.
Right? Multicultural networks. Does he have multicultural networks and do you have them? And number four is resources. He's got to
Okay.
have those as well. Is he financially literate and does he have resources? So, yes, all four of these for me, and this is my suggestion to all of you ladies, you are judging the man, vetting him financially based on these four things. And a smart man is going to vet you financially based on these things as well.
But what about the men that say that they don't care about that stuff?
They're either lying or foolish.
Ooh. I was gonna say like the meme. You sure about that? Because a lot of
Yep.
people would come on here and fight you about that.
I don't give a crap.
Ah,
I
that's my
I
girl.
I talk to the upwardly mobile Black woman, upwardly mobile Black and woman. We have specific negatives in the
Mm,
United States of America. We have specific negatives globally. I have to have a partner standing beside me that
mm-hmm.
can actually run this race and do it 3 to 4 to 5 times better than the average, I'll say it, the average white person that's out there.
Okay.
So because of that, either he's going to be a drain on me, he's going to be a
Mm-hmm.
drain on my resources, he's going to be a drain on me mentally and my mental capacity, or he's going to help uplift me better than anything that I could do. And by him uplifting me, I can uplift him, and thus we can create children and generational legacy that's actually going to um, push our family forward.
Okay.
So see, this is why I want to like Crystalline, and she drives me crazy. Crystalline
Mm,
does have the mercenary mating. Mercenary mating. I like that. Being ruthless when it comes to vetting men financially and vetting men in every
mm-hmm.
other way as well. We have a lot of new people here, so I'm going to say here, I don't know about how to vet men any other way,
Okay.
emotionally, mentally,
Mm-hmm.
psychologically, I don't know. But financially, I'm going to suggest the four things that I tell you to have as upwardly mobile Black women are the four things you should be looking for in him. So
So now these your your four items on your list, or are these are these items that you would say every single woman, regardless of race and all that, needs to evaluate?
I,
Now,
mm-hmm,
and if that's the case, how do we
mm-hmm,
do that? Because you and I could tell people that all day long, but
mm-hmm,
how does one actually implement these things? What does
okay.
that look like over dinner and candlelight, and we're eating oysters and doing what we're doing? Right before he tells us to split the bill, by the way. But how do we,
Then he doesn't have resources if he's asking me to split the
girl?
bill.
Talk about Venmo me, okay? Look, this Dutch thing, Europe done took over the U.S. because we don't do Dutch here, okay? Um, but how does that come up in a conversation? Let's say we're on maybe our third date, right? Because I wouldn't do this necessarily on the first date. But what do you like? How does this come up in conversation? And can you give us an example?
Sure. So even on the first date, I am looking at this. On the second date, I'm looking at this. I didn't necessarily say interrogate the guy. In
Okay.
fact, one of the best ways for you to determine all of these is to be observant,
Okay.
not direct questions, but being observant. And
Okay.
again, ruthless, mercenary dating. Is this
Mm,
somebody who is going to put my children and our children in the best position to succeed? So let's
okay.
take technical skills. Okay. We might ask him what he does for work. I might ask him how
Mhm.
he likes his job.
Okay.
How does he like it? Do you like your job? I hate them white supremacists, blah, blah, blah. Well, that tells you a lot,
Girl,
right?
you already lost me. Yep, it does.
Or he says, I'm starting off this part of cybersecurity, but I'm about to go and get the certification over here and do XYZ. Great.
Mhm.
Do not get
Mhm.
excited because he says he's going to go and get the certification. You want to, over the next 2 months here, Has he signed up? Has he started studying? Does he say, you know what, Victoria, I can't go out with you tonight because I've got class, but you and I will hang out on Saturday. And you know he's actually in class, right? He's
For
not,
sure.
etc.
Right.
So that's how you observe technical skills. What is he doing today? What is the future path that he has? Is he going to be able to take care of Mimi's babies? Is he going to is he going to bring in enough money, enough income in order to do that? He can't do that without technical skills. Even if he is a business owner, business owners, entrepreneurship is a skill. There are technical skills involved in being a business owner. Does he have them or not? Soft skills, it's the same thing. It's about observing. And I do have on the channel, I won't go through all of them today, but I do have it on the channel, a list of all the soft skills that people need. It's like a 15-minute video. So you all are able to go and find that. Multicultural networks. We should be going to his company party at some point, right? Okay, I'm going to observe him. Does he know how to, network with his boss? What other things is he inviting me to? Like, hey, I'd like us to go out. Yeah, or I'd like to go to this conference. Or is he asking you, or is he saying, I'm going to this conference? Great, you mind if I tag along?
Right.
What kind of conference is he going to? Is he going to a real estate investing conference? Is he going to a business conference? Is he going to a cybersecurity conference, a robotics conference? Can he network with different groups of people? So I would say 80% of what you're doing is you're watching him. 20% is you're questioning and talking to him. We talk too much. We expect too many answers instead of observing. In my opinion, this is just Cheree's opinion.
Cheree got all the opinions, girl. It's valid.
I do. And then resources. If we're talking about marriage, and I was going to ask you this on Judge Victoria, but I would be very careful about marrying a man with no resources.
Resources such as?
Does he have an emergency fund?
Girl, no. Half of these men, I ain't dissing nobody I talk to, but I'm going to say like 80% of the men that I run into, whether it's business or personal, hell no, they don't have it. Hell no. That's why services like mine exist. No, they don't.
So then, and then we'll bring in Mentor Shelley. Judge Victoria. Hey, Mentor Shelley. Judge Victoria. Let me see if I can find this really quickly. So
I don't have a gavel, but I have
Judge Victoria here. I was trying to get the gavel, but I'm not that creative. So let's come here to girl. I got some good ones here for you.
Oh my God, I can't believe you did this. I love it.
He's broken. I'm lonely.
Oh my God! You know what?
Judge Victoria couldn't marry him.
Run. He's broke. I'm lonely. Okay, it depends on what we mean by broke. Like, okay, is his income being sucked away by his bills, or does he not make enough money? Because he could be $100,000 earner, but maybe be paying child support and student loans. So, can we get a little more insight here? He's broke. I'm lonely.
Did you give us two choices that were bad and worse?
Well, yes, but because I'm millennial aged, I have to say most of the men that I will meet have this random amount of like crazy debt, whether it's children or student loans, that they will not disclose until you're just about to get like serious with them or really start to get into, okay, are you really the person that I could consider? I've noticed that does happen. And this is with men that are in suits, PhDs, master's degrees. I'm gonna be shady here, but men that you see on other content creators' channels that y'all know, like, and trust, but I ain't gonna say no names, that are in mad debt, but they come online and act like they're not because they have name recognition with the people they appear with on screen. So let's talk about that. because we know that a lot of millennials do carry this debt, what does a woman that's in that age range do? Because what is broke? Broke is subjective.
Here's the thing. I'm going to say, ladies, if even if he has student debt, right? I have student debt. So, shout out to student loans. And Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, hope y'all gonna come through my student loan forgiveness.
Please.
But
Girl, Joe Zombie, okay? Oh, sorry.
no
Muted.
politics talk tonight. I know. Here's the thing. Even if you have crazy student loan debt, if you tell me you have crazy student loan debt, but you can't and you don't have $1,000 saved for an emergency fund, but you running up to me saying, Cheree, will you marry me? I'm gonna say, I know, ladies, this is not fair. I know, ladies, this is not fair. I'm gonna say no. I don't think you should marry a man who is so broke that he does not have. Now, does he have to have 6 months of emergency fund? No. Okay, fine.
And what if y'all live in different states? Your 6 months where you live may not be my same 6 months in New Mexico. What if we met at a networking event in another state?
Y'all, Victoria's trying to get y'all hitched to
No
financial destruction.
Because these are the weird questions that people will throw you, because I talk to people all across the country, right? Like I told you, I just chatted with a woman, bless her heart, she's been taken advantage of, and she had everything to offer. And this man from another country came over and really took her through the ringer. And it's like, now she's below probably where he was at when he came over here as an immigrant. And yes, I said it, immigrant. So
why are you trying to get go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that was my only question. Like, for you, is broke subjective? Because I could be a $250,000 earner, but if I'm in a home that's worth $500,000 and I'm paying that loan off plus student loan debt and all that, if you did subtract, if I paid off all of my liabilities right now, I would essentially be at zero or negative after that. So am I considered broke? I still have assets that may generate income in my home.
So in that case, it depends.
Okay.
I am, so going to your example, if you have somebody who makes $250,000, they have a $500,000 home, they have student loan debt, but this is a man who is asking an upwardly mobile Black woman to marry him, does he at the end of the month have money? Does he at the end of the, even if it's going into savings, right? Going into 401k, etc. Like, I'm just saying that women need to be smarter when it comes to, and trust me, I married a man who had zero. I'm talking to you from experience. It's not a good idea for him to, you can date him if you choose to date him. Be careful about getting feelings for the man. When it comes to marrying a man, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of people on social media who will not just tell women the truth. Don't marry him if he doesn't have his life together enough where he's at least got more money than month.
So, oh my God. Can I tell you something that I think that a lot of women's mothers, for the most part, tell them? I will never forget this. And I'll just speak on mine. And I love her to death. And Shelly, girl, I'm going to shut up and let you come on.
We have to let Marissa Shelly talk.
Shelly and Cheree know your girl talks a lot. Okay. Shelly just be sitting there so patient with me. But listen. My mother, I remember right before I moved out with my boyfriend, when I had to be like 19 or something like that. I was hell bent on moving out with this man because I was hot in the pants, right? And my mom was just like, okay, whatever. I think my mom was more like, okay, my daughter's breathing. I'm gonna let her do what she need to do. My grandmother was the only person that pulled me to the side and said, I wish you would have done this differently. I wish you would wait for him to marry you before you move out with him. I love him, but I wish you would wait.
Mm-hmm.
I never told my mom that. I never told anybody that because I didn't understand what my grandmother was trying to tell me. So, my thing is this: when I moved out, I was struggling with this person because I had an 800 credit score. He did not. I remember from
Mm-hmm.
the time I met him from when I was 17. This man, we used to be trying to go out on dates. This man would have somebody come and repo his car like 30 minutes before we would go on our dates, right? And you know me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I'm like 17. I'm not thinking about, listen, we were dumb and we were kids, right? But he's like, yeah, they came and took my car. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And I'm like, okay, that sucks, but I'm so here for you, baby. Like, don't trip. Just take the bus to my house. We'll go to the beach, you know? And I remember my mom told me, you know, struggling is okay. She said, that's a part of life. It's all right, you know? And she really, that sunk into me and I said, "Oh my God." But part of me always knew that was bullshit. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, Mom, you're bullshitting me. Like, even though I'm 17 or 18, you're bullshitting me. And I know that. And, but part of it was like, well, maybe I am a little too harsh. And maybe struggling at 18, 19 is normal, you know, because of the path that we chose. So, where does that type of advice end? And then me as a young person saying, okay, this is BS. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Let me prove you wrong. Like, I like, where's the happy medium there? Because I understand what she meant by what she was saying, but it was also like she was trying to um justify what I was going through.
Yeah. So there is no happy medium. Here's the hard truth. And my
Mhm.
father tried to tell me certain things and I didn't get it until after my husband died. Um, when you are alone and you are struggling, that's one thing. If I have a man coming into my life and I'm still struggling, I don't care if I'm 18, 19 years old. That's a no. That is a no. So if we're here to mentor women, upwardly mobile Black women, on how
Mhm.
to vet men financially, why would I add a man into my space, into my situation? I'm most likely having sex with him. I could get pregnant, even though I'm using birth control and all of that.
Mhm.
And I'm still struggling with him. That makes no sense. I don't care if you're 17, 18, 22, 25, 40, 60. It makes no sense. If you have two people coming together, you should have two incomes coming together. And even with the liabilities, I should be better off with
Mhm.
him in my life. And we're just talking financially now. There are other areas it's got to work as well.
Facts.
But if I'm not better off financially with you in my life, especially as a man,
Mhm.
and I'm not talking about we've been married for 10 years and you got laid off and, we're going to work this thing out. No, no, no. I'm talking about he's saying to you, he's proposing to you today, and your life is not going to be better off financially with him in your life. I'm here to say, as cousin Cheree, as Auntie Cheree, as whomever, mentor Cheree, don't do it.
It's so hard to have that kind of foresight. I so hear you, and as you were talking, I literally could feel or see myself in my first apartment with that boyfriend. And I will tell you this, I was conflicted because on one end I was like, I know I'm this young woman with so much potential. And then on the other side, I thought, wow, but I'm about to move out and do this thing and experience this thing that I never saw growing up. This man like loves me and wants to be with me. I never saw that in my house growing up. So I knew that what I was dealing with was something way deeper. that trumped me having the foresight in talking about and listening to the advice that you're giving right now. And I know that there's a lot of women that are still going through that exact same thing that I did almost 20 years ago. I know for a fact that they are, because they're thinking this could be their one and only shot at some semblance of love that looks different than what they grew up with, because that plays a part too. And I think someone said we need to do a part 2, and we do, Cheree. So you better have me back on, girl. But there's
Girl, you
something
better
deeper
come with the
here.
judge and the gavel. You better come with the judge.
Girl, I'm about to buy a
And the
gavel, girl.
gavel.
Amazon, we gonna holla at me. But no, seriously, and I want to just speak on that, because you mentioned before that my company's taking more of the cognitive and the emotional stance on debt and how we see ourselves through how much we make per month, per year, whatever. It means something to us. And there is something to be said about a young couple that is like struggling, or there's something about that that makes you want to work and try harder. It's not really until you get out of it in hindsight and you're like, that was a waste of my time. Jesus, you know? But when you're in it, it feels so powerful, and you feel like it's us against the world, and everybody said we wouldn't make it, and let's show them that we're gonna, you know? So there's a part of that. I see, girl, Cheree, I see you, girl. But I'm just saying, these are real
I've
things I have
lived it.
to. Yeah, it's like we
I've
all
lived
have
it
lived
too.
it.
But here's the thing,
Uh,
we have to be honest with the younger women here. We've got this channel has a lot of 25 to 34-year-olds, and I take it very seriously that
yeah,
we have to be honest with them as well, and
exactly.
be very direct with them, that we understand your perspective, we understand what you're going through, um, but here's the perspective of you know older women and what we've been through. And Mentor Shelley, go ahead, my dear.
I I completely understand your perspective, Ashley, as well as coming from a different angle on it. I grew up partly in a household that definitely prioritized marriage. And if he loved you that much, why did he not marry you and make you a partner for real? And fortunately and unfortunately, we can learn from those lessons. And yes, he's broke. And yes, he's these different things. But of course, hindsight is always 2020. I personally, if you had asked me this question 25 years ago, I would have probably said, but we can work it out together because I love him. But this mentor, Shelley, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, sir. If we're not coming together and we're not partnering, and you don't have a leg to stand on financially, and if you don't have certain things in place, which is now a part of my standards, if you don't at least have certain things in place, do you have a career that is thriving in place? Do you have a business that you are conducting that you are thriving in? Do you have your finances together? Is your lights being cut off every other month? Is all that kind of nonsense going on? If you have anything that remotely looks like irresponsibility, that is the fastest exit stage left. You see, this fluffy girl is going to be going, because we're too grown to be dealing with or settling for anything less than the best. This channel represents upwardly mobile women that so happen to be chocolate brown in whatever shade you decide to, whatever shade God put on you. The same drive and the same type of excellence that we expect from ourselves, we should expect from our partners. Point blank, period. And yes, the past is there for us to learn lessons, but going forward, we can't settle for anything less. The person at least has to be at your level. And I don't mean, oh, we have to be at a social status. No, I mean, can they have a conversation with Pookie and Ray Ray or the president of a Fortune 500 company? If you can't have conversations with both, I don't even need to have a conversation with you. I'm sorry, that's my standard. Because at the end of the day, if you're not doing better than me, or if you're not at least striving to do better, what kind of conversations am I having with you? Let's be clear. Something can happen to you at any moment. Okay? Something can happen to you at any moment. I still have to be able to stand on my own. So at the end of the day, bro, if you ain't got your stuff together, don't even look in my direction. I'm sorry. Whoever takes that the wrong way, get some ambition. That's all I gotta say. I'm unapologetic about that because I know what it's like to, let's try to work with building, and exactly what happens when you build somebody up, they get the strength and they walk away and leave you.
Oh God.
So we're not doing Build-A-Bear at this day and age. It is 2024. If you ain't got your stuff together, get it together.
What when he talks to Pookie and Ray Ray, like what's a scenario where he would even have to deal with Pookie and Ray Ray?
Pookie and Ray Ray can be a potential client.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, I was about to say I've dealt with some Pookies, but let me be quiet because I'm simulcasting on my channel.
You might work with Pookie and Ray Ray. And let me tell you, there's some white collar Pookie and Ray Rays out there too.
Girl, yes, I see them all the time.
He has to be able to recognize and to navigate dealing with Pookie and Ray Ray. So
right, and be objective and not like judge them and stuff like that. Like, because there is a way to have decorum when you go into different socioeconomic situations or like areas, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I am still learning how to deal with every level of socioeconomic classes, right? Because I know where I stand, but it's always different going into the upper echelon. It's like, oh, you know, I still struggle with that sometimes where I'm like, oh, do I deserve to be here? Like, wait a minute, like, why am I even here? Like, let me go hang out with the Pookies real fast and like,
yeah, the imposter syndrome,
boost their credit scores, girl. Let me get you this secure credit card, Pookie, baby. Come on.
You know.
So let's do Judge Victoria.
Oh,
should I marry him? Okay. We'll try to figure out how to get the gavel and all of that for next time. Okay.
I know. I'm gonna buy one, I promise.
He has a 500 credit score. Judge Victoria and everybody in the chat and Mentor Shelley. Should I marry him?
Mentor Shelley is way too harsh on this one because I say it depends. Because what is the cause of the 500 credit score? Could it be that he's over leveraged because he has put money into a business, because he's purchased real estate? Because as you know, we can pull cash and then go put that into other areas to get some real estate. So what is the 500 for? So for me as a credit solutionist, I definitely want to know what the 500 credit score is from, because he could have a large cash flow, but not necessarily have a good record with his lines of credit, if that makes sense. So I know that there are millionaires that have a 500 credit score. So my thing is, as a solutionist, I want to know why you have a 500 credit score, because on the opposite end, what if he has an 800, but girl, all he got is 2 secured credit cards on his credit report, and that's why he has an 800? Baby, let's be real about this. So the credit score part,
Victoria.
No, you're talking to somebody that looks at income versus credit reports. So my thing is, what are we talking about here?
Okay, no. Because you can't. Okay,
yeah, acting like my customers ain't watching.
Well, that's fine. Credit goes into so much. Whether or not you can buy a home, whether or not you can rent a home, his insurance rates.
Yep.
You know, if he's trying to get government contract work, if he's trying to
Mhm.
become a government employee, he can't get certain jobs with a 500 credit score.
True.
The only time, and I wrote this in my thing here,
Mhm.
if it was medical debt, and it depends on what kind of illness he had, but that's
Mhm.
like an extreme if. Like, even for me with that, I'm like, ugh. But we're talking about marrying somebody. We're not talking about dating, having coffee with, right? We're talking about
Y'all know y'all
marrying.
done marry people with 500 credit scores.
I
Y'all better
have, and I'm
stop.
telling you, it's not a good idea because my credit was used for everything and it
Mhm.
drained me.
Yeah, you don't want
Agree.
to put yourself in that predicament, and you have to also consider you're looking at it from a credit solutionist standpoint. Take your
Mhm.
credit solutionist hat off for a second. This
Girl.
brother is in front of you, and they saying, "Honey, I want to get married." Blah 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 blah. As part of your premarital not duties, but premarital activities, you're looking at each other's credit reports. Because guess what? The financial decisions you're going to make is going to be directly affiliated with those credit reports.
That's true.
So, looking at it from a I am a woman standpoint, and you see that 500, are you really going to do this? Are you really going to marry this dude?
I will give him 6 to 9 months to sign up for my service, and then we No, because and honestly,
I
like
told you to take your
that's the
hat off,
reason.
girl.
No, no, but that's the reason that like I exist, because I understand that as women, we will find a way to make some crap work if we want that man. Okay. So,
Here we going back to the come to help us again.
but everybody's done it. So my thing is this,
That doesn't mean it needs to keep
that
happening.
I know, but y'all, okay,
What?
the
No, no, no,
credit,
no.
the credit score, you're putting too much weight on the credit score.
No,
You
ma'am.
understand that credit can
Ma'am,
follow you for 7 years.
I
So,
get that.
no, I know a guy that had a bankruptcy when we were in our mid 20s. He now has a child. He has a beautiful, like, massive house out in Dallas, Texas with his wife, and they're doing fine. She's in the banking industry. He's doing well. Who
I
would have thought a
understand.
guy with a bankruptcy would have this massive, beautiful house? And his wife, who I will say is probably, kind of the orchestrator here, because sometimes, ladies, we just have to do certain things. But my thing is like, okay, if you have that 500 credit score, I get what y'all are saying, but you're talking to a credit
I
solutionist.
told you
So
to take
you're,
the credit solutionist hat off and
but girl,
look at it as a
can't.
woman.
I
You can.
can't though,
Yeah,
because
you can.
and you
So
say
so
and
let
I
me
said
let
can't.
me
I didn't
ask
say
you
can't. I said
let
can't.
me ask you this,
You can.
because
Go ahead.
we have to be very cautious about the advice we're giving here. You
Yeah.
have a young lady who's 25. She's marrying a man who's 30. She's fertile, so she's probably going to be popping out some babies. And you honestly want her to marry a man who has a 500 credit score.
I would honestly tell her that we need to take a closer look at it. I would tell her don't give him an answer before we look at it. That's what I would honestly tell her. And
So
that's
the
that's
answer,
my
ladies, is no. Don't marry.
yeah, yeah. No, no. Okay, if you want my
say
actual
say.
answer, I would, yeah. And I guess, okay, let's clarify. So my
Mhm.
answer is no, do not run to Vegas and elope with this man if you don't have a plan. But a lot can change in 365 days from me meeting you today, having a 500, and a year from now, when we decide to actually, like, I decide to say yes, a lot can happen
So here's the
because
thing, Victoria. You've said it there. A year from now, he may have a 650 credit score. That's different. We're saying today with
no, okay.
25, yeah, that's what
Damn
I'm
it, it's a
trying to get you to
no.
say. It's a no. Thank you. Darn it. We need more Judge Judy and less whatever you're doing. Okay, Judge
That's why we need
Victoria,
a gavel.
should I marry him? He's $40,000 in consumer debt.
Hell no.
Oh, you
Now, see,
answered that one quick.
that's a different question. Because I can have a home that I'm paying for on time and have a 500 credit score. That's what I'm saying. Y'all are being a little too critical there. 40,000 in consumer debt, that's different because that means his money is going into a lot of different areas that are not going to be contributing to our household. So hell to the no. That I'll be honest with you, hell nah.
Mentor Shelley, you have
Okay.
Denise is like, you tried it, Victoria.
No, you gonna get that. You gonna get that no out of me. That's how I know Cheree know me because she was like, let me pose it this way, baby. Because she knew I was gonna waffle on the 500. She knew it. That's why she said, let me hit her with this.
I'm glad
Hell
Mentor
to the
Shelley is
nah.
up here to say no to the 500 credit score. Go on, Mentor Shelley. You have anything to say
Go on,
about this one?
Shelley.
The 40K
Shelley be
consumer
whooping
debt.
me.
Now, here is where we actually would differ. I'd probably lean towards no, but what's the 40K in debt for? It could have been, as you were saying before, Victoria, he could have been using that money to start a business. Remember you were saying that earlier?
Okay. That's
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
The credit score gets you in the door. It's what it's comprised of. And the only reason I know this is because I help people that have poor credit scores show their proof of income to say, hey, I know I suck right here, but look
Wow.
at what I pull in. How about that? And money talks, y'all.
That's
I'm
true.
sorry. So that's
true.
why I said when you say the 40K, it's like, okay, that's different because now it's like, okay, do you not make enough money that you could just pay this 40K off in 12 months? Like, let's really have a conversation, brother.
True.
I didn't mean to say brother. It could be anybody, y'all.
Anybody. But here's the thing: 12 months, he would not have $40,000 in consumer debt. So I'm talking about today. I'm looking at the man today. The man says, will you marry me today? And
Oh,
you know
God.
he has $40,000 in credit card debt, which most likely means he has a couple $1,000s a month going out in interest payments.
Cheree, why are you trying to slash my client base, girl? So look, okay.
You may want to cut the live stream off to your channel now.
No, girl, it's only a handful over there. Okay.
Also said, I don't understand guys that have store credit cards. So,
I don't either.
Hey, okay, let's move on. Because
But okay, my answer to that is a no. You're right. It's a no. It's a no.
He has $100,000 in student loan debt. Judge Victoria, should I marry him?
Fudge, no. Nope.
Nope.
Because I'm Kanye West. I am the college dropout who is making it. Okay. So, no. Because, okay, I was just talking to a lady the other day, and I know she ain't watching my channel, so I feel free to say what I'm going to say. She literally said her husband has $500,000 in student loan debt. He has been accumulating that crap since 1997, yo. And he's a family law attorney.
I believe it.
I was like, girl,
run.
Why? And she's like, well, because we wanted to have kids and I wanted to have them right away and blah, blah, blah. So as we're talking about this upwardly mobile stuff, I get that. But a lot of women allow biological clock is ticking, societal standards are ticking, families in your ear on both sides. Hey, bro, you're a lawyer. I know you're your first year in, but why is she not pregnant yet? Why aren't you going to have kids? Blah, 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 blah. They succumb to that. So guess what? He's 500,000 plus in debt right now in one of the most lucrative forms of law you can practice, which is family law. Still struggling with $500,000 of debt as an attorney, a sought after freaking profession. Let's talk about it. So hell to the no.
This is not even, that's $500,000 with interest.
Yes.
Hell no.
Interest payments. This is where we talk about resources and financial literacy, ladies.
Yeah.
So next thing, Judge Victoria, He has an $800 a month car payment.
Why you
Should
doing this to
I
me?
marry him?
Why you doing this to me?
I'm
And
setting
she, and
you
y'all,
up.
she know I got my spooky cocktail too. She messing with me, y'all. But this is why I love these two. So no. Here's my thing. I can't cuss. It's not past midnight, right?
No.
Heck, HE double hockey sticks. No.
Oh, jeez.
What
And
car is
oh,
worth $800 per month?
So I'm a mortgage loan officer, and I've seen the $800 a month car payments, and I'm just like,
yeah.
I
ooh.
drive a sports car. When
Mm,
I had payments, they were under $400 because I did it properly. Now, trust me, I kicked myself in the butt for having a car payment, but my thing is this. If you're going to go sporty, hey babe, you don't need a V8. Not necessary. There's other ways to do it. Let's talk about it, boo.
yeah. So these car
Right?
payments these days are like, I don't know if you've seen the TikToks, but
Ridiculous.
they are ridiculously expensive. So
She said he
Woo.
probably driving a
yeah.
Challenger. Denise is kick. Look, Denise show going in tonight,
No sugar bear.
He
baby.
probably driving a Challenger trying to come to my house making all that noise. It's the truth.
Girl, the
Does that
Challenger
include
is a
does
sexy
that
car,
include
though.
maintenance? No, girl, that's the car payment. That
That's
doesn't
not
include
insurance.
insurance. That
But
doesn't
listen,
include maintenance. I've seen this. I have seen
Oh
the
no.
$800 a month car note, and then the person's
yes,
like, I want to buy a house. And I'm like, your debt to income ratio is so screwed up. I
Oh
see it
no.
continuously, continuously.
what do
I
you
like,
tell
Wow.
those people? Like, how do you let them down easily?
Tell them the truth.
I tell him. So with one client, he happened to have enough money where we paid off his car at the closing table.
Okay.
But unless, he happened to have the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you've got the coins for that. And most people who have an $800 a month car payment don't have that kind of money in their
Mhm.
401k, or, because he was able to do it through his 401k because
Okay.
he was buying a house. So at the closing table, he brought the car money from his 401k as well, and there were no tax implications for it.
See what
But
I'm
yeah.
saying? When they got the coin, they could kind of be deficient in other areas.
Mhm.
That's kind of what I'm saying. But no, 800, that would be a red flag for me as a credit solutionist. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
Next, Judge Victoria. He's behind on child support. He needs my help. Should I marry him?
No, you shouldn't even date him.
Well, hold on.
You shouldn't even answer his DM because
Uh-uh. Listen.
number
No, no.
one, no, hold on. Let me speak as a child of a deadbeat father. My thing is this. Let me specify a father that was there and then decided to become a deadbeat. Let's be clear. So my
Oh.
thing is this. If he cannot pay that child support, number one, why are you not with the baby's mother? That's my first question. So this is more of a judgment thing, a character thing. I'm very curious about what happened there. Number two, why are you behind? Is it because you haven't been able to keep employment? Is there an immigration situation? Is there like what's going on? Like, why has your fatherly instinct not kicked in for you to do what you can for those children no matter what? I don't care. Blood, sweat, and tears, sleepless nights. I don't care. Number three, if you're behind on child support, your jobs are going to be jeopardized. You are not going to be able to get a passport. Your license is potentially going to be revoked, and we might get pulled over and be stranded some night on a date because they took your car. Like, there's just so many things that can indirectly affect me. Now I have questions on your character. Go on, Mentor Shelley. I'll mute myself.
I have a different perspective because I've had friends that ended up being behind, and people that because I am in an HR position where they weren't behind. The state was behind in processing payments. It's not because the guy was irresponsible. It's because the state don't process their crap on time. That caused several of my friends to be behind because the state is not handling their stuff properly. Outside of that fact, there are situations where all of a sudden they say, oh, they throw they've been paying on time all this time. And then they say, oh, we found these records and you were in arrears 2 years before this. So they throw arrear payments on you suddenly, either raising it or once a settlement comes through based on if you got divorced in that particular settlement from the mother of the child, or there's other factors. It's not a straightforward thing. So I understand where you're coming from, maybe based on personal experience, but I've also seen on the other side and had communication with people that have had it on the other side. It's not that they're behind. Sometimes the state drags their feet or the state doesn't do what they're supposed to do administratively to put these people in a lot of issues. Sometimes that happens as well. So it's not always that cut and dry.
I would be cautious about what state you live in
Yeah.
because even though the state, excuse me, the state is behind.
Yeah.
In certain states, you as the wife, as the current wife, could end up having some issues with your check being garnished.
Oh yeah, I'm
So,
aware where I know somebody that literally divorced their husband because the husband had grown children, but I don't know if it's one of his children's mothers had filed some new paperwork and they claim he was in arrears for a year, threw like some exorbitant amount of child support on him, and had she not divorced him when she did, she would have got hit with that bill.
yes. The other thing is, there was this funny story. If I had had the time, I would have pulled it up. But this mother, it was a mother, a father, and a fiance. And of course, the father was with the fiance,
Right.
and he was behind on child support, and the fiance was planning a destination wedding. Baby, the mother took the father to court. The father, of course, the judge took away the father's passport. The fiance was in the hall causing hell. I
Oh
wish
my
I
God.
had a girl. I was listening to it. I was laughing my ass off. The girl from the fiance was like, "How dare you? I've got a destination wedding, and they took away his passport." I mean, she was ballistic over this. So there's just a lot of implications that you can have.
Yeah.
And we talking about, should I marry him? Now, you going on the first date, the second date, I'm an observe person. If he says that the courts haven't caught up, you observe, right? If
Right.
he's a whole bunch of word salad, I'm out of there. But
Yeah.
marry him. I'm talking about, should you marry this man? No,
No.
no. So let's do a couple more.
Okay.
I own a home and he rents. Judge Victoria, should I marry him?
Oh my God. Oh
Now,
my
this is what
God.
I know about Black women. This
All right,
time,
you want me to give my knee-jerk response?
I want you to speak to the 25-year-old who is dating the 29-year-old, and he is popping the question this weekend.
No. That's my answer.
You and I agree.
No, because I think that you're so far along in your adulting, he will not respect insurance. He will not respect mortgage. He will not respect property taxes. He will not respect utilities. He will not respect your personal space, might I add. He will not respect so many parts of home ownership because he's used to putting in a work order request to get his light bulbs changed and to have a plumber come out and not be responsible for it. I'm speaking as a former property manager, okay, for a significant portion of my life where I had to do budgets and talk to vendors and have floods and all kinds of crap on holidays where I should have been with my family. So no, if he rents, hell to the no. Hell to the no. I'm going to say it because if he cannot carry his weight, you are already at a deficit, because you should never in your life be the breadwinner. You should never in your life be the one that has the most assets, the most, like, you shouldn't be that person if we're talking about marriage. Now we're talking about dating and sneaky links. Absolutely. Who cares if he rents? I don't even care where he lives, because, bro, as soon as I'm done with you, go home.
Wow.
Don't roll over in my home.
Wow.
But go home. Because realistically, unless this man has a ton of money saved up somewhere where he can justify his rental status, she's talking about marriage. I know a lot of y'all are probably thinking, well, no. Well, yeah, you're thinking on a dating aspect. You're thinking of giving this man time and all this. No, she's asking Mary, if I'm sitting, we've been together a year, he pops the question, hell to the no. You knew you wanted to marry me about 3 months into this. Why have you not been getting your stuff together?
I agree.
Men know early. I don't care what nobody says.
She said, I hate you all.
Well, yeah, because I honestly, and I will say, and if I could just be transparent and I'll be quiet here, I am still sorting through some of my objectivity. It is hard sometimes to turn off the credit solutionist versus Victoria the person, because Victoria the person has been through things to where I know a man that is not carrying his financial weight, cut it off, but not cut it off, not Lorraine Bobbitt style, but like cut the relationship off before you get too deep. Because guess what? If a man is seeing you and he finds a better option, unless you have something that man is definitely like hell bent on coveting, he's going to ditch you to go to that better option. So what is wrong with us as women doing that? I don't understand what the issue is. Now, when it comes to marriage, and clearly I wasn't paying attention to your question the way I should have, Cheree, so I apologize. But like, I was thinking relationship versus marriage. So no, Mary, no. Said all that to say no. Hell to the no. I'll mute myself.
Next.
Wait, what does Shelly say?
You're the judge.
Shelly said, I ain't touching that one. Okay, girl, I feel you. Okay, go ahead.
Girl, it's 9:00 as well. So you girl got to get up at 4 a.m. to start my day. Judge Victoria, he is starting a business. Should I marry him?
Oh my God, you are messing with me so bad tonight. Okay.
Girl, but I told you we were going to have a little messiness to this money topic.
Oh my God, that's so tough. Okay, it depends. That's my question. That's my answer. It depends. If he's starting a business, okay, are you saying that it's a man that had a career and has money to now where he's putting that money into the business? I mean, what are we actually saying? Because I was about to marry a man that was starting a business. But what made me pull back was that the minute I said, hey, babe, our place is already paid for, don't worry about that. Start your business and do what you want to do, since you said this is the thing that you've been wanting to do for however many years. I did that for a man once. And what I noticed is that once I gave him that freedom and just said, babe, open road right there, do what you got to do. I'm not in your way. As a matter of fact, let's make this one side of the entire place for you and your business. I'm already going to go to work. My work is right like through this one door. Y'all, I've worked from home for like almost a million gazillion years, like just in general. So I'm like, bro, all I got to do is go past this door and I'm already like at work. I'm not tripping. And he totally flopped. As soon as you give them the thing that they want, that's not really what they want. The truth is, that man did not want me. After I gave him everything he wanted, he was like, oh, maybe I don't like her as much as I thought I did after all these years. Because I said, hey, bro, start your business. Like, I love that you want to start a business. You know, had the equipment in our place and everything. And he just flopped. He flopped. So hell no. That's my answer. Hell no. He's starting a business, and so what?
Mr. Shelley, you notice how she started wishy-washy and now everything is hell no?
Because
Yeah.
the stuff, no, because the 500 credit score, I'm gonna be real, because the 500 credit score, those are my bread and butter. So I'm never gonna tell somebody just because your credit score sucks, that means that you're not making a ton of money on the side. F that, no. But when it comes to, oh, I'm starting a business, baby. Oh, you know, I'm back on my child support and blah 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 blah. Well, guess what? These are things that are gonna affect me. The 500 credit score, okay, if you and I are going to go in on a house together, yes, your credit score does affect me, and the contents of your credit score may affect me. So there's too many questions that are open-ended with the credit score part. But when you come to saying income, I know exactly what this debt is. I know exactly, oh, you want to start a business, oh, you have student loan debt. That is more concrete to where I can say, oh, you got an issue here, 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 and here. With the 500, okay, well, you might have just gotten credit 2 years ago. Okay, if I date an immigrant, then yeah, he's gonna have a 500. So that was where I was coming from with that. But it's like, and clearly I'm free love, okay? Not free love, but you know, if an immigrant comes through and you know he works harder than an American, I got to do what I got to do. But my thing is this: starting a business, girl, doing what?
So I want to hear what Mentor Shelley says, and I put this in here for a reason. So, Mentor Shelley.
I have to. I'm from the show me state, figuratively speaking. You could say, all along that you starting a business. What you really doing? Actions speak louder than words.
Girl.
And you know, as much as I want, I'm supportive for the right causes. I'm supportive with a person that is already in motion doing things, not just doing things to look busy, but or do you have a client? Is this client paying you? Are we getting some cheddar? We getting some butter we can put on some of this bread? Or are you getting some bread so we could put some butter on it? Like, I need receipts. There you go. Still rocks. I need to be able to see what you're doing. What kind of business is this? Have you, do you have a particular client in mind that you're helping? Have you already started? Have you done your research? Yeah, start. If people can say, do a blanket statement, starting your business, you can say whatever you want. What are you taking action? It has to be action based for me. It's not a no, but it's not a yes either.
So this is a bit of a trick question, but this is the reason why I put this in here. Because entrepreneurship, especially in the Black community, is talked a lot about on social media.
Right.
There are a lot of people on social media who say, I don't know why you go into that 9 to 5. You should start your own business. You should open your own business. Victoria and I have been full time in business for, I don't know how many years you've been in, Victoria. I've been full time since 2008 or 9ish. So I've been like, if I don't make money, I don't eat, and the mortgage isn't paid for a while. And I can tell you this: anybody who is starting a business, especially if it's their first business, I don't care how much money they have, it takes you 2 to 3 years to get the business really up and running and get all the kinks out of the business. These people who say, oh, I started a business 3 months ago, sorry, and now I'm making $100,000 a month. That is extremely rare. And usually they put a course together about how to sell courses, and that's how they're making their money. And that's short money. And short money, quick money goes away quickly. The final thing that I will say is this: a man who is starting a business will usually need to be 100% focused on that business for that business to succeed. So the chance of him being able to start a business, grow a business, and start a marriage with you is very, very, very difficult. The question is, should I marry him? He's starting a business. And for that, I would say no. Now, Mentor Shelley is right with the show me state, but show me is not, should I marry you today? Show me is, let's date for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how this business goes. Let's see how you and I interact as you're starting and growing this business. Are you a serial entrepreneur? Are you a successful serial entrepreneur? Or have you done 10 businesses and all of them flopped?
Oh God.
Yep, that's true.
So, and one thing I know about is people who start businesses. They're the I'm gonna start this business, and he's telling you for 4, 5, 6 years he's gonna start this business. Or it's the I started the business, I failed. Well, what business did you start? Well, and this is no shade to this woman, I put $9.8 million into a Golden Corral franchise.
Yucks.
Okay. I mean, like
What?
Hey, she'd be like,
and people can say, people talking about Jeff Bezos. Let's talk about Jeff Bezos. What did Jeff Bezos have? What did Zuckerberg have?
mm-hmm.
Even Elon Musk, even though I don't think Elon Musk is that bright, what do they have? They have technical skills, they have soft skills, they have networks, they know how to fundraise. Jeff Bezos and Amazon didn't make money for years. And did you ever see or hear what was Jeff Bezos's wife, Mackenzie Bezos? Did you ever see her with a sign? Will do whatever for food? No. She probably always had a roof over her head and a way to make a way because they had the networks in order to do that.
Yeah.
So we cannot, let's be real, we cannot compare ourselves to Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos.
I think it's so ridiculous when people do that. Like,
it is.
Because the richest person I've ever probably met never even let me know that they were rich. Let's start there. The second thing is that they operate so differently that I think a lot of us need to, I have a theory. I don't believe that we should behave we shouldn't try to mimic the actions of the people that we think are in the class that we want to be in, if that makes sense. Because I feel like striving for a millionaire when you live in the hood, probably not the wisest thing because you don't know the first thing about communicating with those people. If you are a standoffish, I'm gonna go to work and just stay to myself kind of person, baby, how you gonna even meet this man that makes $1 million? How you gonna meet him when you stay to yourself in your corner, like in the corner at your call center job? Like, how you even supposed to meet this person? Girl, get off TikTok. You being goofy. So my thing is, no, I'm being honest because I've paid attention to the people that talk this way, and I'm like, you don't even know the first thing. Like, you're scared to go to a meetup, dude. Like, you have you been to your chamber of commerce in your city? That's something free, There's a lot of ways to touch people that are in different socioeconomic classes. It's just that we choose not to do it. So, and I shouldn't say we, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? So I guess my question here is, when it comes to vetting these people, as we've discussed tonight, Cheree, I think it's more of a matter of us knowing or making a decision about where we want to be in life and then committing to the process, the whole entire process of how like what it's going to take to get there. Am I
Mhm.
wrong in saying that? Because
No,
the thing that my mom told me at 19 or 20 of you're going to have to struggle and that's a part of being on your own. Why would I believe that if I come from a decent family, if I'm supposed to fall back on my network and my village, why would I believe that I have to struggle? You're not even you telling me stuff that's going to mess me up from the minute I get out into the real world, because where's my network? Where's my village, right? Like, why would you tell me that? So I feel like a lot of us are going out into the real world without a realistic expectation of what's even out there for us. Either I have a village or I'm supposed to struggle. You need to tell me which is correct, or tell me that I'm going to have to get out there and experience it for myself to figure out the answer. Because
well,
I've
I
done
think you
all of
have
it.
to. I think you're going to do both. So you can have a village. You will most likely have, if you have a village, you will
Mm,
most likely still have struggle, because struggle is a part of growth. Struggle is, it's not necessarily struggle like you're going to be in your car homeless.
okay.
There are various types of struggle.
Hmm.
So let's take, somebody put on here that Jeff Bezos's wife was an English major. Okay, let's say she came from prominence, she has a village, right? She's
Hmm.
got
Hmm.
money. Struggle could still be her staying up, 3 days putting together these book lists for Amazon. That's
Okay.
struggle, right? That's a different kind of struggle. When
Right.
we, as impoverished Black women, and I have to admit, I've never been impoverished, so I'm speaking,
Hmm.
overall.
Right.
When we think struggle, we have a certain picture in our head of struggle. When other people say struggle, they have a different picture and a different scenario in their head, but there's
Hmm.
different types of struggle that happens for everybody.
Right.
um so I want to do one more,
Okay.
and then we're going to do some final wrap ups, and I'm going to go to bed. And I
Nah.
do talk about this one.
Okay.
He's going to make me a trad wife. Victoria,
Oh my
Judge
god.
Victoria, should I marry him? He gonna make me a trad.
Oh my god. Okay.
No.
I'm gonna tell you why this one is tough for me. I understand y'all. I know trad wives, and I knew these girls when they were single. I knew my guy friends when they were single. And when they locked into that woman, they said, I will do whatever I gotta do. She ain't gonna work a goddamn day in her life after we get married. And I'm gonna tell you, the few that have promised that, to my knowledge, them women ain't got no jobs. Now, I don't know what their home life looks like. So let's all be honest about that. We don't know what these people live like. But the people that I rolled with, whoo, I be looking and I'm like, wow, they just gave them women some babies and they sat their asses down. Victoria's still out here working. Okay. So I will say that if someone offered me the trad wife lifestyle, unless he's a lot older than me and I know that he's too tired to run the streets, I'm going to say hell to the no. I would never date and marry a millennial man that promised me the trad wife lifestyle. I would never date a man my age that would promise me that. Hell to the no.
Interesting. Mentor Shelley, you had audible gasp with this one.
And I'm with Purple
Absolutely
Rain.
not.
Get a prenup. Yes, I'm with her. Get a prenup.
Absolutely not. Here's why.
Oh God.
Listen, you're talking about this. This is coming from a lot. I don't know if a lot of y'all know this. I'm originally from Jamaica, okay, and I was raised by a disgustingly independent mother that was married to my father for more than 10 years. But she always made this statement. I'm gonna say it in patois, and then I'm gonna say it for you guys to understand. Always have your vex money when you're dealing with any man in life. Meaning that the mind of that man can change at any moment in time. Yes, they love you for 10 years, but then decide to hate you for the next 5. And in doing so, putting yourself in a trad wife position where you have access to no funds of your own, I would never leave myself out there like that. Here is why. Trad wives in their 40s or ex-trad wives in their 40s is telling you that is a huge risk because a lot of them had to start from the bottom. I'm very passionate about this. As a matter of fact, I'm working on a program specifically for ex-trad wives because it doesn't necessarily mean that this guy's going to leave you high and dry, although a lot of them do and trade them in for younger models. You can hear some of those testimonies on TikTok and on
Certainly
YouTube.
Can.
But what if something happens to that guy and he gets into an accident? So you don't have any money coming in to take care of the family? If they got life insurance, let's start there. If you have life insurance, great. If you don't have life insurance, or is the life insurance enough to carry you for the next 5 years? Or do you need to always have your Vex money? You always have to have something going for yourself because you never know what life and this man is going to throw at you. People pretend. People are actors. There's a lot of stories on the internet and off the internet of women that have been through literal HE double hockey sticks when it comes to trad wife life, especially because it's a hot topic in these internet streets for the last year or so. Of a lot of what these women went through. In some cases, this man, they've been together for 20 years and he decided, he wants to have a relationship with a younger version of her, had a side piece, dumped his wife, left her in an apartment after being in a house for 20 years, sold the house, took all the money and dipped and left her with the 3 children.
Yep.
Oh no, I will never put myself in a predicament where somebody else gets to dictate or decide my economic life. You hear, this is why I always say, make sure your personal economy is in check. The only person that's truly responsible for that is you, not some dude that said they love you 1 minute and want to dump you next for somebody else. Do not, ladies, under any circumstances, leave that up to another human. And this is Mentor Shelley signing off. I will, in the next week or 2, be talking about the ex-trad wives program that I'm putting together because I'm very passionate about this. Don't ever leave yourself out there like that. Please don't. Please don't. There's so many women that are in my age group, younger and older, that is coming on the other side of that trad wife life, that life is life, and then they have to literally struggle to crawl back up to normal because they left themselves exposed to some dude that really didn't love them or took the best years of their life. And now they have to be struggling to survive on their own. Oh, no. Mm-mm. That's absolutely positively. There's no hesitation. No.
So we both said no. Let's
No.
just be clear, Cheree. So we need your answer, ma'am.
Oh, my answer is definitely no. I
Okay.
am a
Mm-mm.
never ever be 100% dependent on a man. And let me say this. So trad wife, my understanding is trad wife means he is 100% responsible for the money that comes into the house. And a lot of the trad wives, these girls cosplaying trad wives online because
Right.
they're not
Thank
really
you.
trad wives,
Thank
right?
That's
you.
true.
That little
They're-
SC chick, I think that's her name, the
Mhm.
little girl that looks like the 50s pinup,
Yeah.
she's cosplaying.
We know.
I
you.
can see
Thank
straight
you.
through that, right?
Girl.
Mhm.
Okay. Trad wives also typically allow their husbands to be 100% responsible and in charge of the financial decision making in the house, which is also very dangerous for you as a
Hmm.
woman. Now, let me
Correct.
take a step back. That does not mean you don't have your online business that you run while you homeschool your children. I want to be
Mhm.
Correct.
very honest with that and separate that. I
Correct.
am a big fan of, if you can do it, homeschool your children and have an online business that you're doing on the side. That does not mean that you don't have your notary business. Notary
Right.
World told you you can make $500 a day, right?
Right.
I
Correct.
am going to disagree with Purple Rain, who said, um, have your income that he knows nothing about. No, he damn sure gonna know I have this income. The reason for it is because he needs to know that you can leave at any time and you
Ooh.
don't need him financially to survive.
Mhm.
Okay.
He needs to know that. Absolutely. So I disagree with you there. Have your income, make sure he knows about it. The other
Mm.
thing that I will say is that it is the technology that we have right now is moving so fast that if you stop working for 5 to 10 years, it will be extremely difficult, if not impossible, for you to catch up with the new technology that's happening out there. I don't care if you're not in tech, if you're a realtor, if you're a loan officer, if you're, you run an Etsy shop, whatever it is,
Mhm.
it is very difficult to get those things up and running. I also
Mhm.
said this before, I've been in business a long time. It usually
Mhm.
takes 2 to 3 years for anybody to get their business truly up and running. Or
Yeah.
do you have a remote career? And we talked about remote jobs versus remote careers on this channel. But you definitely don't want to be in a position where you have 40-year-old bills and 19-year-old skills, meaning that you have not improved your skills since you're 19 years old, but you got 3 kids and you're 40, and this man has left you with no money and with no ability to make money. And there are men out there, because I used to think, oh, just find a man with a career and everything will be all right. Go get your child support. These career
Yeah.
men are being so shady that they're leaving jobs, that they're going self-employed themselves, that they're not giving you child support, etc. So I don't even trust these career men anymore based on the stories I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Do not have children that you cannot afford to take care of on your own.
Preach.
You are
Mm.
25, 24, 23, because I have a lot of young ladies listening to me, 29, 30. I'm saying to you, if all you can afford is one child, let's say you want to have a child, right? But you know you can't afford more than one child on your own. Do not have three. That is dangerous for you to do.
Yeah.
No
It's
Um,
joke.
dangerous. So,
yeah.
uh-huh.
It just goes to show that even if it means taking classes, doing some online certifications, brush up on some things, you have to be able to be employable or have some form of business, whether it be notary service, whether it be um courier service. It depends. You got to be able to have some form of skill to offer to the marketplace to be able to bring money in that's detached from the man. Purple Rain says here, even some dudes will try to take people's women's businesses from them when they're getting a divorce. It's very
Yes,
important. If you not
especially if your name was not on the business. There have been a lot of trad
Yeah.
wives that let
Yep.
their husband put their names on the business. They
Mhm.
ran, the wife ran the business. And because she's not on the paperwork, she's
Yeah.
not on the paperwork,
That's
he
it.
can say he has no claim to it. And
Yep.
depending on what state you live in, you
They can
can
get
get
away with
screwed.
it. Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
screwed.
I'm not
And
living
hey,
in your
Yeah.
house.
Good to see you, Tam. Tam
I
is
know.
saying
Hey,
this.
Tam. Is this
Hey,
Tam with the
Sam.
purple lipstick? Is
It
this Tam purple
is,
lipstick
yeah.
Tam?
Establish
Yeah.
money before you get married so that account is not claimed as a marital asset. And you got to be careful because if you're putting money into that account after getting married and you don't have a prenup,
Mm-hmm.
and depending on what state you're in, the prenup may not be enough. So you better get some
Girl.
competent counsel before you marry this man.
Yeah.
Just told my client last week this same thing. I was like, girl, how did you pay for this man's business? Girl,
Mhm.
he ain't even a citizen yet. So I'm hoping, she's taking the advice that I gave her. But like I said, as a credit solutionist, you guys, I hear so many stories from so many different walks of life because your credit score it literally penetrates every facet of your life because credit scores are just the prerequisite to your social credit score. It says so much about you. And again, I don't put as much weight on the credit score as I do to what your financial behavior is like. It's just because I'm on a different side of the industry, right? So I have to be objective and I have to be sympathetic, I guess, or empathetic rather. And that's where I'm coming from. So tonight was amazing, Cheree. Please, 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 can we have a part two? And
Oh yeah.
Yes,
girl,
because I didn't even go over everything.
I know. And girl, okay, so yes, we'll get it together. And like, please, I would love to be on a
Yeah, in
panel
a couple of
with
weeks we'll
you.
do it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I'm definitely down for this because I just think that for me, I have so many personal experiences as well as experiences that I've um, eh, talked through and lived vicariously through my clients.
Mhm.
So these are things that happen. And when it comes to matters of the heart and matters of your wallet, y'all, let's be real, we don't make the best decisions. And I know we could sit here in the chat and say what we will and won't do, but here's the thing. None of us know what's going on in each one of our personal lives 100% of the time. And I guarantee there's something that you heard in this live stream that you relate to. And even though you didn't leave us a comment, that's okay. I'm here to tell you I've been through most of what Cheree was questioning me about, whether she knew it or not. And there's nothing wrong with that. So that's all I'm going to leave you guys with. There is no shame in making these mistakes, but we have to at some point make better choices. So that's what I'll leave you guys with.
And learn from the mistakes of the women
Yes.
who are older than you. We're not
Yes.
jealous. We're not bitter. We just are like, look, we have lived, we have experienced certain things, and we don't
Yes.
want you to go through the same financial hardships. So,
Facts.
Mentor Shelley, thanks for coming up. Hopefully, you'll be here in
Yeah.
the next couple of weeks when we do part two.
Yes, I will definitely be here, and I definitely want to just add or just close out with this. At the end of the day, the decisions that we make mirror where we are, and where we are may not necessarily be where we want to be, but it's better than where we were maybe 10 years before, 5 years before, even 2 years before where we are now. And as we learn and grow and develop as young women or as people, depending on who's watching this, know that the better you are, the better decisions you make. And there has to be a level of self love to decide that there's just some things I'm not going to tolerate. There's just some things that I love myself enough not to go down that rabbit hole and then wonder why I have cuts and bruises and broken bones. We have to make decisions to put ourselves in better positions, not worse. So who we're partnered with makes a huge, colossal difference in what direction we take our lives. So if they are not qualified to be our friend, they're definitely not qualified to be our mate. So keep that in mind the next time you make a decision to date the right person. And I'm
And I'm going
signing
to
off
end
on
with this final thing here, ladies. It's okay to be alone.
exactly.
It's okay to be alone. It's okay to be alone.
Hmm.
It
One of my
is
favorite places
trust me,
too.
you will not perish from being alone. But
Woo!
you may be paying that man for a decade if you choose the wrong person. So that's it. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. And we will do part 2 of this in the next couple of weeks. Take care. Night.